this our Java class. Come back to Java class. Here see the different questions I am displaying here. So explain the left shift and the right shift operator. This you leave it now. And the second one is what is enhanced for loop. This also you can leave now. Have you heard this word enhanced for loop? Have you heard this? Yeah. In looping statement I told about this concept, right? What I told I will explain in next unit, and I told like this. Okay, in this concept what we are discussing, in this concept we are going to discuss about enhanced for loop. It is most easiest and important for loop, that is enhanced for loop. Okay, so we'll discuss it in next class, right? And now okay, now concentrate on this slide. See, have you seen these kind of questions? I mean concept covered or not, you just check this. Define automatic type conversion and explain with an example. Have you seen this concept? Automatic type conversion, typecasting, explicit conversion, implicit conversion. Have you remembered these words in first concept? Yes or no? So it is asked by VTU, that is 6 marks. And second question, explain the following, that is new operator and this keyword. Two concepts are covered, right? New operator and this keyword. Others, are you seeing this, right? It is very important for you. And the next one is list and explain the Java's primitive data types, asked by 8 marks. Now this time they may going to ask 10 marks. Remember this. Previously they have asked regarding 8 and 6, but this time onwards they will going to ask 10 marks. List and explain Java's primitive data types. One by one you have to explain, and explain the following with an example, that is break keyword and continue keyword. You know what is the purpose to use break and what is the purpose to use continue. Break means it will break the execution, continue means it will skip that particular code, right? You have to write definition, syntax and one example per each, then you will get full marks, right? And another one is here, what is constructor? Explain the constructor overloading with an example. In a Java lab, that is on Wednesday, we have discussed this concept, right? What is constructor? Explain constructor overloading with an example. You just write constructor. What do you mean by constructor? Class name and constructor name is same, that's it. Overloading means what? Constructor overloading, how will define? Two or more have same constructor names but different parameters, then we can call constructor overloading, example, and so and so. You have to write this. Is it clear? These all are VTU questions. Next, and here I told and I have mentioned in a red line, that is first notes I have sent, right? There I have skipped attributes of object oriented programming and explain any 4 of them. This I am going to cover in second module. That is first A question is appearing, right? List the key attributes of object oriented programming and explain any 4 of them. This I am going to tell in next unit. So only this question I have left, that is first one, right? Now see here another one. Briefly explain the characteristic features of Java programming language, that is portable, compatible, right? Object oriented, that you have to explain in this question. Then again you are getting here, what is typecasting? Explicit, implicit, illustrate with an example. What is meant by automatic type promotion, give an example. These all are what? Explicit conversion and implicit conversion. Again they have asked this question. And C, that is 1C, explain use of this keyword. Again you are getting second time, right? This keyword, what do you mean by this? Then how to represent with an example with the use this keyword, that you have to explain. Then the next, explain about, again you are getting here primitive data types available in Java, non-primitive and primitive data types. Here you have to explain class, arrays and list. Okay, now we have discussed about class, right? You have to write regarding about class. Then array, today we are going to discuss about array, right? And again explain with an example with method and constructors. This also we have no constructor, we have no, but methods we didn't learn. In probably we are going to learn these methods on Wednesday. That is methods. We have stopped here while discussing methods, right? But we have know the concept of constructors and methods also. You know, I already told. I have taken one example, that is display, right? These are apart from class name, whatever you can use, that you can call methods, right? For example, AITM, MCA, these all are what? Methods, but class names are different. So this question also I have covered. Is it clear? This question, am I clear or not? Methods and constructors. Okay. Now the next one, again you are getting here, explain the following typecasting and this keyword. Again you are getting this question, typecasting and this keyword. And another one is explain the use of break as a form of go to with an example. This label I have explained, see there in your notes. First label I have given, then open bracket, second colon, then open bracket, third colon, open bracket, then there I have written some statements. That is example for this one, go to with an example. So whatever I am giving based on these previous questions, so don't neglect any concept. If you neglect any concept, directly they will going to ask 10 marks in that model. What to do, right? So each model, at least 3 models you have to complete entire concept. Now unfortunately you have missed the post sem exam, right? If you write that exam first semester, then you will come to know how the exams will going to conduct and how the questions will going to frame. But unfortunately you have missed that chance. Let's see what will happen. Okay, but from my side I am telling everything to you. And here again this question is repeated. I will tell this in a second in it. And explain the parameterized constructor with an example. See, constructor types, no argument, parameterized constructor and default constructor. These 3 I have given examples, right? And the important one is, see, write the syntax of for loop, enhanced for loop, while loop, do while with suitable example. Now you will able to write for loop, while loop and do while loop, but enhanced for loop I am going to teach in this concept, right? So this is asked by 8 marks, but it is previous questions. But now onwards your syllabus is changed. They will going to ask directly 10 marks. Again here write about automatic type promotion in expression with rules, demo the programs. Again it is asking explicit and implicit conversions. And under 1C question, what are the different types of iteration statements and jump statements? Iteration statement you can write here, if else, else if, those all are called iteration. Then jump statement, break, continue, these all are jumping statement. Explain the concept of default constructor. See here again you got default constructor and parameterized constructor. 6 marks they have asked. Now you have to accept 10 marks. And again explain this keyword, this how many times it is repeating? See here, this keyword. And garbage collection, it is a new concept, but you have studied the garbage collection, right? Then again, method overloading and constructor overloading. Constructor overloading you know, and you have to able to write that one basic example, constructor overloading. Then method overloading we will learn on Wednesday, method overloading. And again, in first unit you are aware about JVM and JDK, right? Some people, they have given a demo seminar on these topics, JVM and JDK. Again they have asked. And primitive data types, typecasting again. Here automatic type promotion, same example, question is repeating many times. And explain different types of iteration statement and jump statement, also it is repeated. Deferred constructor and parameterized constructor also repeated. This keyword is also repeated. See here, B question, all of you observe. What is a narrowing and widening? Explain with an example. What do you mean by this? Do you have any idea about this narrowing and widening? Am I taught this topic or not at? All of you say what you know this meaning, narrowing and widening. Have you learned this keyword or not? Or you are hearing these all are new keywords? You don't aware about? Yeah, you learnt or not learnt? Learnt. Another name for narrowing is what? Narrowing and widening. That is nothing but explicit and implicit. Yeah, these all are alternative ways. I told every possible keywords in that concept. They may going to ask narrowing and widening, they may going to ask typecasting, they may going to ask explicit and implicit conversions. All three meanings are same. Sumaya, are you getting my points? Sumaya. Yeah. Then explain the use of break as a form of goto with an example. Again it is second times is repeating goto. And finalize method. In last class I think you have learned this finalize method, and this keyword is also repeating here. These all are important concepts from your first model, right? And now today we will going to start about another one, fourth concept, that is more data types and operators. Okay, we have studied control statement and Java fundamental and looping statement, right? Then the fourth concept is more data types and operators. In this concept we are going to learn about arrays, multi-dimensional arrays, and alternative array declaration, and assigning array references, and use the length member. And now here see, for each loop we will going to learn in this concept, for each loop. It's a very interesting and important concept in this. Okay, for each style. Then strings. So these all are concept belongs to more data types and operators. So it is a new concept. So let me start with arrays. Array, what do you mean by arrays? It is common in any programming language. We have a group of related variables we can call arrays, right? So another way can use arrays are used to store multiple values, and saying multiple values in a single variable. For example, MCA is a class, right? In your class, I am telling about, not in that class, telling about your class. You are doing in MCA, right? MCA is a single variable, but Sumaya, Snehal, Leena, Kiran, Sujit, right? These all are what? Multiple values. You are a student, so you have, I am considering you as a multiple values, and single variable name I am telling, that is MCA, isn't it? So arrays are used to store multiple values in a single variable, right? Instead of declaring separate variables for each value. So for this reason we are going to use arrays. And one more point you have to remember: to declare an array, define the variable type with square brackets. You have to use square brackets. Let's see. For example, if you want to store the names of 100 peoples, how are you going to store? Name, you are storing a name. To storing a name, what you will use? That is string data type you will use, that is string followed by variable name A1. Then here you can assign one value or one name to this variable like XYZ, right? Here I am telling 100 people, not 2 or more, 100 people I am telling. So first people name I have mentioned here, that is A1. Then again I am going to define string A2, then string A3 and so on, and up to string A100. Is it possible to declare all 100 peoples in your program? Is it possible or not possible? Say, anyone? Is it possible to declare 100 peoples? It is possible, 100 people names in your program. Yeah, using arrays it is possible. Now what I am asking you, with the help of defining a variable, is it possible? It is not possible, right? So if they assume 100, you can write 100 string, where string A1, A2, A3 up to 100 you can write easily. But suppose I tell to write 1000 peoples, so is it possible? One day will you going to type string A1, A2, A3 and so on up to 1000? It is not possible, right? So instead of using these kind of variables, we go for array concept. That array, we can create an array of the string type that can store 100 names or 1000 names up to the requirement, right? So with the help of arrays, it is possible to declare multiple values, to store multiple values in single variable. Understood this array concept, everyone? Okay, these are general basic concepts, right? Now we will see. To define array like this, we have to use string is my type, right? Then bracket, square bracket I have to use, then followed by array name. Here I have given array name as array. Then in Java it is a little bit different. I am following only one rule. Okay, there are different kinds of rules. If I tell those concepts, you will become confused. So array means in Java, you just remember this logic. String, I mean type. I am using here array is an string type. If you want to declare in int, so here you have to use int. That's it. Then here square bracket followed by array name. Here array name I have given array. Then compulsory you have to use new keyword. I already told in the new operator. New operator is used in Java to create an object of the class and to create an array. 2 points I told. To create an array, you have to use new operator. To create an object of the class, you have to use new operator. So 2 things you have to remember regarding new operator. Now another, you have a question like this. This is video question. How arrays are defined and initialized in a Java? Explain with an example. 10 marks question. Understood this question? How arrays are defined or define an array, and how to declare and initialize and access in a Java. Explain with an example. Like that they will going to ask. Right? We'll see the definition of an array. Arrays, it is an collection of variables of the same type. Collection of variables of the same type referred to by a common name. It's called an array. And in Java we have two types of arrays, that is one dimensional array, another one is multi-dimensional array. 1D array and 2D array or more dimensional array. But in generally we are using 1D array. Commonly we are using one dimensional array in our program, right? Understood the definition of array? They ask question like that, you just write this much. Okay, right. Now one dimensional array, how are we going to declare 1D array? 1D array in a Java is always used with only one subscript. One subscript means, say this bracket, square bracket. How many square bracket is here? Only one square bracket. I mean square box. You can assume it is a square box. If it is one square box, then it is called one dimensional array. If it is one square box, we can call it as one dimensional array. It behaves like a list of variables. One dimensional arrays is behaves of what? List of variables like xyz, 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 xyz and so on. That is list of variables. And we can access the variables of an array by using an index in square brackets. This is another important. First you write regarding one dimensional array like this. Always used with one subscript, that is one square box, and it is a behaves like list of variables. Then the next point, it is variables can be accessed by using an index number. In where? In square brackets, and preceded by the name of that array. Index number, then square brackets. Inside the square bracket you have to write index number, then preceded by what? Name of the array, like MCA. MCA is my array. So how to access the array elements? MCA bracket, there you have to write index number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. And one more point you remember, index value should be an integer. Always in array, index number should be an integer. That index should be start with from 0 to 0. Index number starts with 0. Understood this concept? Whatever I am displaying here, you just write in your main exam. Don't worry, you will get marks. Instead of writing these main important concept, you are seeing and searching on net, and whatever their concepts is there, if you learn those concepts, it will become very difficult. First you have to learn my concept, what I am displaying, what I am telling. Then only you, after learning these concepts, then you can refer the other notes or internet notes you can refer. Without studying first my notes, it will very difficult for you. Okay. So this is regarding about what information you have to write in main exam. Now see, this one is a 1D array. I am representing pictorial representation of an 1D array. Here 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. These all are array elements. Remember this? These all are elements, or these we can call items. 10 is an element or 10 is an item. 20, 30, 40, 50. So how many elements are there? How many elements total? 5. Yes, 5. So array size is 5. So array starts with an index number 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So always array starts with index number 0, and these index number always be integer, not floating point, not string. Compulsory is it is an index number in integer. So this information you can write. Now how to declare one dimensional array in Java. So first we will see the syntax, because you have learned in C it is different in Java language, right? So here we are using a keyword new keyword we are using, or new operator we are using to declare an array. In C language we are not using new operator. To declare an one-day array, that is a syntax like this. First you have to write syntax type, which type you want to declare an array, right? Type followed by square bracket. Then after you have to write array name, what array name you are giving. Here array name I am giving, that is array name by default. Okay, then followed by what? Equal operator, sorry, assignment operator. Then here you have to use new keyword, compulsory you have to use new keyword. Then followed by which type you are using, same type you have to use here. Type here int you have used, here also you have to give int. You have here you are using string, here you have to use string. That's it. Then size, what is the size of this array, here you have to mention. That's it. So it is a syntax, standard syntax to declare one dimensional array in Java. Let's see one example about this syntax. So type I am using here, that is int. Type is what here? Int. Then followed by what? Square brackets. How many square bracket? I mean how many square box? One box. So if one box is present in an array, so it is called one dimensional array. It is one dimensional array. Then next I am using array name. Here I can give array name, that is MCA. All of you write on this, don't listen, simply write on. So array name I have given MCA, then assignment operator, then new keyword, new, which type I am using here? Int. So I am writing here int. Then here size 5, I have given size is 5. And pictorial representation of this array, MCA is my array, its size is 5, then elements are 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. So you have to write like this to get more marks. So it is a declaring up an one dimensional array. Understood this one? Can anyone tell me regarding this declaration of an array? Okay, now so briefly explain that syntax in your main exam. Here type means what? Determines the data type of each element contained in the array. Type, it may be int, float, char, string and double float, right, and so on. Size means what? The number of elements that the array will hold is determined by the size. If you are inserting 5 elements, then array size is 5. If you are inserting 6 elements, then array size is 6. But starting index number is what? 0. Index number is 0. Right. Then after writing this, another point, arrays are implemented as objects. Yes, because Java is an object-oriented language. The creation of an array is two-step process. One is we declare an array reference variable. Here reference variable is sample. Sample is my array name, but I am telling here it is a reference variable. What reference variable? Have you aware about in declaring class creating up an object, that is MCA is equal to MCA S1 is equal to new MCA. Have you know this line, right? MCA is my class name followed by reference variable you are using, that is S1, isn't it? So similarly, first we declare an array reference variable, that is nothing but array name. Array name is here what? Sample is equal to. And the second process, we allocate memory for the array. How to allocate a memory? With the help of new keyword. With the help of new keyword we are allocating a memory. assigning the reference to that memory to the array variable. So here we are assigning the allocated memory to the reference variable, that is nothing but array name. Here array name is sample. And arrays in Java are dynamically allocated using the new operator. Dynamically means what? What do you mean by this dynamic? Dynamically I already told. Can anyone tell me? Dynamically allocated memory. So when memory will going to allocate? During the run time. When during the run time memory will going to allocate, then we can call it as dynamically allocated memory. Tell me again, when? What do you mean by dynamic allocated memory? Don't know? Okay, leave it. Now coming to the next concept, that is array initialization in Java. Here how to initialize. Initialize means what? With the help of assignment operator, what values you are assigning to the array. That is what initialization. Initialization, always remember, it is you have to use assignment operator. So first you declare an array. Here I want to initialize the values like this. 5 values I am using 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. So these I am going to initialize to an array. To initialize an array, first we have to define array. Int square box brackets MCA new int. Up to this much you understood. This is declaring up an array, right? Then assigning values. Here little bit different while using in Java language. Here directly you have to give open flower bracket directly, then give what values you are inserting. 10, then separated by comma, 20, comma, 30, 40 and 50. After assigning these values, then close the bracket, then give the semicolon. So it is called initialization of an array. Declaring and initialization of an array. Understood this line? Now the next step is how to access. Declaration is done, initialization is done. Initialization means simply you can use these double brackets, then inside these bracket you just assign the values, then separated by comma. That's it. It is called initialization. While writing this example, you just write here, this is initialization of an array, this is declaration of an array. Like that you have to write. Now we will move on to how to access the array elements. I mean how to print array elements. That is a question, right? So to print you have to use SOP. Then the first element is, so array name plus you have to use to print the any value, plus then array name what I have given here, my array name is MCA, so MCA, then bracket square bracket which value you are printing, that is first element. First element is always occupied by 0th index. With the help of index number we have to access array elements. Index number, so MCA is my array name, index number is what I am writing here, 0. So MCA 0 means what is the value will print? MCA index number 0, what is the value is stored? 10. So 10 will going to display. Yes, 10 will going to display, right? Then now I want to print this 20. how to print this 20? SOP, second element is plus MCA. What is the index number to print 20? 1. Yes, 1. Then we'll get 20, right? So like that it is. From this slide you are learning declaring of an array, initialization of an array, and accessing of an array. 3 points. With the same logic, 3 points you will going to learn. 3 points, right? One minute, phone is coming. Stupid fellows. Now again I want to print this 30, then index number is 2, then we will learn 30, then 40. To print 40, so how can I access 40 here? Index number is 3, right? Now you tell me how to print 50. So what index number should I access? MCA, yes, MCA 4. So now we'll get 50. So it is called in accessing array elements in single line statement. Just we are printing one by one, isn't it? To print any one value we are using one SOP. To print another value we are using another SOP. Like that we are using. This is one example. Then another example is like this. Now all of you tell me, consider this example, which element will going to print. Seeing this slide, which element will going to print? Yes. What is the index number here? 4. Now count the 4 here from these index numbers, starting with 10, right? 10 has the index number how much? 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Count the numbers from 10. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the answer? 50 will going to display. 50 will going to display like that. Understood this one? Understood? Okay. Now instead of writing more statements like SOP plus MCA 0, SOP plus MCA 1, instead of writing that, I am writing only in a single line statement, that is SOP then MCA of I. Then I will get all the numbers or all the elements. How? With the help of for loop. With the help of for loop. Instead of writing these sentences, see here, SOP, 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 SOP. So only I can print all the array elements within single element, single line, with the help of which loop? For loop. So for here I am declaring one variable, that variable name is I, int I. Initialization with 0 means what? Index number, nothing but index number. 1 minute, I will use this pointer. I equal to 0 1 means it is index number. Now I value becomes what now? 0. Less than, what is the array size here? What is the array size? How to identify array size? How for? Count from here. Yeah, 5. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So total array size is 5. Because it is started with 0, that's why one number is less. So don't tell directly array size is 4. You just add 1 here, then you will get 5th. So here you have to mention array size, that is 5. 0 less than 5. Condition is true. Yes or no? If condition is true, execute the next line. What is the next line? SOP, then MCA. I value is what now? I value is what? 0. Now you tell me MCA of 0. What is the value? MCA of 0th position. Which value? 10 will going to print. 10 is print. After printing 10, next job is what? Increment the I value. Now what is the I value now? What is the I value? 1. So 1 less than 5. Condition is true. Now MCA of 1. What is the MCA of 1? I mean MCA in first index number. What is the value? It will execute 20, and again increment the I value. Now I value becomes 2. I value becomes 2. So MCA of 2. MCA second index number. What is the value? 30. 30 will going to print. Increment the I value again. So I value becomes 3. 3 less than 5. Condition is true. Then MCA of 4. Sorry, MCA of 3. What is the MCA of 3? MCA array third index number. What is the value? You are not understanding this concept. Yeah, so now 40 will display. Then again increment the I value. I value becomes 4. 4 less than 5. Condition is true. Then I value becomes 4. So MCA of 4, that value is 50. So 50 will display. So within these two lines we are going to display n number of elements. N number of elements. So this is another example. Is it clear, everyone? Understood this? Okay. Fine, Kiran. And now time is up. We will stop the class now. Thank you. You can all of you leave this meeting.